Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing a video that has been requested and I've never actually thought about doing it until now because I realized that more people actually want to see it and they're curious. So today we're going to be talking about dolls that used to be in my collection, but I have sold them over the last 4 years that I have been collecting, which is super crazy to say. And when I say that, remember I collected as a kid and then I collected as an adult. So these are dolls that I purchased and then either sold them for various reasons, such as I didn't like them, didn't connect with them like I thought I was going to. I wanted to get a replacement. I have sold a lot of dolls over the past couple of years, but again, you know, people just need to clean out their collection. Sometimes you buy a doll and she's not what you thought she should be and you just feel that somebody else would love her. I would much rather sell the doll instead of having her stay in my collection or in storage where she's not getting used or even put on display. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. If you like to keep your collection, you know, in storage or anything, there's nothing wrong with that because obviously you love them and you want to preserve them that way, where I preserve mine on display. But my thing is, like, if I have a doll that's in storage and she's not getting used or really thought about, I'm like, somebody else is going to love her way more than I. The bulk of this video will be American Girls that I have sold in the past. So I went through my Mercari listings and then I went through my Instagram and I grabbed pictures of these dolls because I knew I had them. I had them all except for one. And I can't focus on every doll I've ever had and sold. So customs that I made myself will not be in this video, but customs that I bought from other people will be. And as for the smaller doll collections like Rainbow High, Shadow High, all of the highs, you guys know the drill, and Brats, I have sold some of those in the past, and basically the reason for selling Rainbow and Shadow High specifically is because of the fact that when those lines first came out, I was a completionist. So I went and I bought every single doll in every single line, simply because back then, every doll in every line was amazing. So I wanted to have them all. We all know, or if you don't, Rainbow High is kind of in a lull right now. So I can't even remember the last time I bought a Rainbow High doll. So it's kind of that. I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to keep the ones I like and then kind of focus more on American Girl, which is what we're doing. So let's go and talk about the dolls I have sold that were AGs. First, we're gonna talk about my original Isabelle Palmer, my very first secondhand purchase. So she was the first doll I restored, first doll I boil washed, and then she became Mini Kyla because I eye swapped her eyes. And for the longest time, she was Mini Me until I upgraded my Mini Kyla, and she's not down here because you guys have seen her enough lately, so I figured you'd look at some other faces today. But I got an upgraded Mini Kyla with a face up, so she looks more like me because I wanted a Mini Me with makeup. And I was like, you know what, I would much rather now have a regular Isabelle Palmer instead of the one with blue eyes. So I ended up selling her. It kind of broke my heart in a way because she was, like I said, the first doll I restored, my first boil wash, and she's really special to me. You can definitely see a lot of pictures of her over on my Instagram from back in the day. So she was really important to me, but I was like, I would like an Isabelle, you know, with her regular eyes, and just buying Isabelle eyes is difficult. So I went ahead and I sold her, and the only reason I still haven't purchased one is just because, like, I don't have room right now and it's not an absolute necessity. Next, we're going to talk about Natalie. Natalie was a doll that I bought from Heart of Forever and Always, and she was a doll that I absolutely fell in love with when I got back into collecting, and I was like, I just love her hair so much. And her hair happened to be one of the super thick wigs from Exquisite Doll Designs. If you watched my custom dolls video, I talk about in there my opinion on custom dolls and, you know, how my taste in them has changed, because I used to be minimal makeup, super thick, luxurious wigs, to, I wouldn't say heavy makeup, but, you know, a good portion of makeup on the face, to natural AG wigs. So my custom taste has changed, and you will notice that within these dolls. So Natalie, I did so much with her, and she is a doll that I not necessarily regret selling because I did sell her to one of my very good doll collecting friends. So Frankie has her, and she let me know years ago, if you ever want to sell Natalie, I will take her. So I did sell her to Frankie, so I know she is, you know, being loved. And it's really cool when you sell a doll and you sell them to someone you know, so then you can kind of keep track of them. So I do love Natalie. She was one of my favorites in the early years to take photos of, but like I said, she is living with a friend of mine and she's doing really good. Along with Natalie in that era, we had Nyla. So Nyla was a custom melody base and I loved her wig. I don't know, it was one of the thick ones, but Nyla had one of my favorite custom wigs ever. And I love her name. I absolutely adore her. But for some reason, I just didn't, I don't know, I did not connect with her when I kind of did like a bigger doll purge. And I was like, you know what? I think somebody else is gonna love her. And I love that doll's wig to this day. She was made by Dallas Doll Co. and her wig was just one of the softest things ever. Yes, it was super thick, but it was beautiful. And she was a melody base. So she was really, really unique to my collection at the time because I don't think I had any Sonali molds when I bought her. So yeah, Natalie and Nyla were kind of together. They were very much best friends. And I made the decision to sell those two, I believe, around the same time. I don't know who bought Nyla, but wherever she is, I hope she's doing great. Talk about Cordelia. Cordelia was a custom Blair and she was also made by Dallas Doll Co. And I just didn't really ever connect with her. Her wig was one of those like peekaboo rainbow wigs and I just did not connect with her. And I kept her around for the longest time because I wanted a custom Blair with blonde hair. Well, now I have her and she's mini me. But Cordelia just was never one. I think this is the only picture I ever took of her. I didn't really like dressing her. I don't know why. She just wasn't really one that I ever fully connected with. She arrived on my birthday, so that was, you know, kind of cool. That was like one, and I remember it wasn't snowing because my birthday's in January, so I went outside and I snapped pictures of her and there was no snow. I think it was like freakishly warm out. So I just never connected with her. I don't actually know where she ended up going, but that was Cordelia. Next, we're going to talk about Zoe, my Truly Me 84. When I first saw this doll in the promotional pictures, I think it was for like, it was some clothing line that they were doing around the time of 83, 84, and 85's release. And I was like, I have always wanted a Jess mold with my skin tone and now we're getting her and it's amazing. So I ordered her in 83 on the same day. Zoe and Sienna were best friends. For the longest time, I've got a picture of them with these matching shirts that I bought for them and maybe I'll insert that in here. I don't actually know. But Zoe and Sienna, they were the real deal for so long. And I think I sold her last year, so she was around for a while, but for some reason, I just didn't like mine's wig very much as time went on, so I do think I might actually get another one in the future. So again, I would really like to get another Isabelle and another Truly Me 84. So some of them, I just didn't like that particular doll. And I do believe, if memory serves me correctly, Zoe went to a fellow AGIGer, but again, it's been a while and there's been so many, I can't remember exactly where all of them go. Next, let's talk about Franchesca. So Franchesca was a sub repaint doll and she had a straight Kaya wig, and that was primarily the main reason I bought her was because she had a straight Kaya wig. She was the basically custom Kanani, so the medium skin Jess mold. I have a regular Kanani. I've got Yasmin, who is a custom medium skin CYO, Jess mold. I've got, oh Lord, I'm trying to think here because Opal, oh, right in front of my face. Oh my God, Opal, custom medium skin Jess mold. So you see, Franchesca was not necessarily unique to the collection. My goal in life is to have another Kaya so I can modernize her. So I think that was really just what was going on. And I had kind of envisioned I would have a doll with a long, you know, Kaya wig, and she would have blue eyes and tan skin and her name would be Franchesca. So kind of like 49, but not 49. And I was like, even though she is a sub doll and I love his work, there really wasn't ever any huge connection with her, so I decided to let her go. The same goes with Mercedes. So Mercedes I bought from Sophia and she was customized by Small Dolls. So I thought she was really cute. She was my first Teddy custom. She's the only Teddy custom I've ever owned. She was just so cute and so fun. But, you know, over time I was just like, she doesn't really stand out to me in the collection. And that's another thing. If they kind of get lost in the sea of dolls that I have, I just don't, I'm like, somebody else is gonna love them way more than I do. So I did end up selling her, I believe around the same time as Franchesca. Yes, because there was a batch of like 4 dolls that I listed on Mercari earlier this year, and she was another one of them. So I did end up selling Mercedes. Next, we're going to talk about Hayden. Hayden was my custom 4, and in the beginning, I was like, if I'm going to get a 4, it's going to be a custom, because for some reason, I don't know what the reason was, because clearly I had something wrong with me. I did not like 4. I think it's because I don't particularly, I like certain dolls with bangs. Like you see Nina, my 11 here, like that is beautiful. I love her bangs. They're so cute. But other bangs, I'm like, no, I just can't do it. So anyway, I went ahead and I purchased a 4 from Dallas Delco, and that was Hayden, and I loved Hayden. There are so many beautiful pictures I took of Hayden, but again, she had the super thick, unrealistic wig, and I went back and forth on this for a while, but I did end up selling her to a fellow AGIGer, and I did it so that I could put the money towards that, or the money from that towards buying an actual custom 4, and I did, and I have Marjorie, and she's amazing, and I don't know why I ever, was like, no, I don't really want a 4, I don't get the hype. I understand now. I don't understand the prices, but I understand the hype. These last 3 dolls I actually don't have photos of. I might go back in all my dolls videos and grab some headshots, but these last 3 were dolls that I actually, well, the one I didn't forget. The other 2 I did forget that I sold. So in the very beginning, I used to have a Sage Copeland, and I tried to eye swap her with my Kanani, and it was successful. However, I could never find the right wig I wanted on her. So I did go ahead and I did sell her. I purchased her secondhand. So I think the main thing for me was I wanted the inbox curls. Even though they wouldn't be perfect, that's what I wanted. So I have said for years, I'm getting a Sage Copeland. I'm gonna, rebuy her, and I'm gonna get an inbox one. And again, like with Isabelle, an 84. It will happen. I just don't know when, because it's not top priority. Completing the Girl of the Year line is not as important to me as it was to complete the historical line, so I'm not in any rush to do that. Next, earlier this year, I made the decision to sell my Yvette Peters, and that was simply because I love her. She might be one I buy again, and I really shouldn't have done this. I don't regret it right now. One of the main reasons I did get rid of her was because of the way I store them. As you can see, their hair gets very squished. And I'm super particular about how I store certain ones, like Sienna, my 83. I do not like, and Ella, my 26. I do not like squishing them like this because of their ringlets. And the same was with Yvette. But another thing was, her hair never gave me any trouble. Everybody panicked and was like, oh my God, how do you keep her hair? Like, I didn't touch it. And I didn't do anything with her. It wasn't because I was afraid of her hair. I just didn't do anything with her. So I made the decision to let her go. I love her so much. She is my favorite doll from that line. So she is one like I said, I don't regret selling her right now, but I'm probably gonna pay for it later, and I mean that in literal terms because she's gone now. So next we're gonna talk about Tenny. So Esty, my Tenny Grant, I'm gonna be completely honest with you all. I did not like the doll. The only thing I like about that doll is her wig and her sense of style, because yeah, she is very Taylor Swift coded. And I still want a custom doll, or probably like 5 with the Tenny Grant wig, and I just don't have one. Why, you ask? I don't know. I cannot figure out like the best doll to put that on. So I might, in the future, there might be a Tenny Grant wig doll, and you'll know that you'll know she's here. She'll do an opening video and all that crap. So lastly, I wasn't going to include this doll, but as I'm sitting here thinking about it, did you guys know my historical Rebecca that I own now is not actually my original Rebecca? This is important because 2 reasons. One, my original Rebecca was from 2009, like the original era of historical dolls and Rebecca and all of that. And she was the last doll I got as a kid. And when I got back into collecting, I washed all their hair. My Rebecca's wig was very thin and it did not fare well. And their hair needed to be washed, okay? They'd been literally in the basement for over a decade. So I needed to do it. And no matter how hard I fixed her hair with the rollers, the wig was just not having it. So I went ahead and I sold her, and I bought my Be Forever Rebecca, and at that time she was the last doll I needed to complete my historical collection before Hoffman twins you see here, and Miss Claudie, who's actually up top, but none of them were out yet. So at that point I completed the historical collection. Controversial or maybe not, I like Be Forever Rebecca better. So I wasn't going to include her, but actually she's kind of an interesting tale, because I say I had 11 dolls as a kid, and then I'm like, okay, so here's my 10 dolls from when I was a kid, and now we're gonna jump to adult collecting. No, it's a very interesting little lore. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I did not know so many people were interested as to why I didn't have certain dolls anymore. I loved them at that time, but again, I always sell them because I feel that if there is a home that will love them more, then that's definitely where they should be. If you have not already, give this video a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button to join the fam, and tap that really cool notification bell so you know the exact moment I post a new video. Have a blessed day, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye, everybody.